How's it going, everybody? We're going to go ahead and get started. Stellaris is up. Thank you for the sub, Ulster. What's up, man? A little bit of a late start today. I had something going yesterday, and then I was in a football manager game, which I'm on Sunday mornings to afternoons, which is why I don't stream anymore, because it does tend to run over like this. But I hope everyone is having a good weekend and has a good week. We are in for a Grand Campaign Stellaris stream today, where we are already more or less finding the boundaries of the Empire, though the wormholes are making things interesting. Thank you for the sub, Moose. Appreciate that. Music's a bit loud. I will turn it down. Where it should be. One sec. Give that a try. Let me know if that's any better. So, when we left off last time, we have gotten ourselves into a bit of an interesting situation. There is currently a war ongoing between the realm of Mari Shoal in the north and the Architect's High Sovereignty. This war has resulted in President Athena Montelupo, now President Athena Teresa Torres, building up good relations with the High Sovereignty, a nation which when we first met it seemed quite hostile, even dangerous, but has now become a bit of a good friend and a trading partner, given we have been bankrolling their fleets and their empire as a whole in their ongoing war with a power that we may not border yet, but know well will soon be a nation we will have to deal with ourselves, paving the groundwork for the wars to come. We are right next to them. 3 jumps away, folks, and then you get to the border of the Mari Shoal, a nation of beings who chose to worship the dark god, now locked in the shroud. Hopefully, it'll stay that way, but given the amount of horrific beings we have already met in this galaxy, I don't know. We'll have to see. What's up, Orion? Counting on the stream to sort my laundry for me. Anyway. Whew. You've been freezing to death? Same here. If you're in America right now, I don't know about Europe, but in America there's a cold spell. It's real bad. It is cold as fuck right now. I'm completely laid up. Tomorrow's gonna be insane. Not looking forward to that. Currently, we have Teresa Torres in her second term. She was reelected after campaigning initially on her first term against Athena Montelupo, who did die in office before she could have even taken office. Teresa Torres campaigned on economical issues primarily. The presidency of Athena Montelupo, who preceded this, was a very beneficial one. Our science was completely overhauled, and we reached into a renaissance of technological innovation, which has caught us up to all of our neighbors. However, the price for technological progress and the immense resources we put onto that was the economy was quite rough, and at the end of the day, that went on to the regular UNE citizen, who, although I'm sure there was great respect for Montelupo, was looking for change, which they found in Teresa Torres, who did lower food prices, consumer good prices, and has rebuilt the economy. In recent times, we have once more gotten a bit of an energy deficit, but it is not the worst. She obviously campaigned again on economic issues, but also building relations properly with the nations on our borders that are friendly. Notably, of course, the state of Gavazol, a nation we are now very close with a migration treaty. Many of the Gavazol the Jaskavaz have migrated into the UNE borders, and we now have several scientists and I believe an economic minister who is Zeno, yep, our Minister of State, Feathers of Blue. So our alien relations are getting better and more complicated as the UNE is becoming more of a cosmopolitan nation. And then under, of course, her tenure, it was the reconciliation of the Architect's High Sovereignty, which I'm sure she campaigned on. A nation once a danger, now a friend. Oh yeah. Within our own border, we do have a couple of species now as well. We still have the Depriardier, which was that species we found on the rogue planet beneath the ice surface after it had gotten thrown out of orbit by that black hole. They have migrated to Earth and now are in the Atlantic and the Pacific. We have 2 populations from the Jas Gavaz who have migrated. We've got a robust robotic building program under Teresa Torres in order to deal with the widespread unemployment issues, not in the high educated sector, but in low basic minimum jobs, which have struggled for workers across UNE planets. We have found our relief and basic robotics labor. They're not intelligent, they're certainly not sentient, unlike a certain war form that we have conscripted into the Empire, but they are, of course, still members of the United Nations of Earth. Ladies and gentlemen, the Grand Campaign continues. All right, give me a minute to set up here really quickly. I always like to overlook all the, especially economics when I get back into the Stellaris game, because once you start to get into even like the early mid game like this, it's very easy to overlook things, and then before you know it, you got a crisis on half your worlds. They're gonna follow. I have no idea how to say that name, but I appreciate the follow. We also did a massive upbuilding on all of our stations. They are now very powerful, very potent. That's probably where a lot of our energy deficit is coming from right now, is the massive buildup we did on our stations. We've obviously got a couple really powerful fortress stations now, notably the Rock, which guards our southern periphery. And then, where is it? Avrian Station, which is being built up. And then the really big one, where are you? The Bulwark, which of course protects us from the Twakstar, a nation who's also at war. So there's two wars ongoing. The High Sovereignty is fighting the Marl Shoal, and the hierarchy of Twakstar, another very hostile avian nation, is at war with those who remember. But regardless, any upgrades we can do? We have a healthy amount of alloys. I think that was with the artifact we found, which, just a reminder, because I forgot about it myself, but we did find the emergency replicator. Self-contained unit capable of being powered by dirt itself. It can fabricate anything you need to survive. So if we give it 10,000 energy, it'll pop us out a ton of everything. An amazing artifact that we found recently. It may become the thing that keeps our economy together here. We'll see. All right, let's upgrade Alrayon Station. That will be the one against the Marl Shoal, so we need to prioritize that before anything else, really. That's our other military station. We'll upgrade that. Full station. We're gonna wait, and then we'll make full station into a star fortress, I think. Alrighty, looking pretty good. We have a fleet of 3.3 thousand, a fleet of 1.4 thousand, and then of course the Warform, which we will be keeping in the Uni Naval HQ on Earth. Alrighty, we're good. Let's roll. Seems to be blank in the profile section. For what, Aces? We're going through the 90s energy crisis. It's been worse. Preconier, it's been much worse. Good to see you. But, hell yeah. What's up, Frosty? Yeah, Stellaris takes a minute to learn. There's a lot of good YouTube tutorials, though. Some of the Stellaris games I've noticed really lack proper tutorial videos. Stellaris isn't one of them. Staying up to date is the issue. We might have that crash again. No, we're good. We did end on a crash. I'm a little worried. Yeah, for real, Walrus. The artifact we got is just a money printer. Can you imagine the amount of economic PhD theses currently being written about this device on the UNE capital in the university? This would be the subject of a lot of varying economic, political theory and discussion right now. Some people would be like, oh, where do you get rid of it? Throw it into deep space. It's going to destroy the economy. And then the more liberals would be thinking it's the best thing ever. Okay, we got better missiles. I'm not going to go for droids. We don't want intelligent droids because we don't want them working our like more high education, more detailed jobs. We want them working the basic jobs which we're struggling for, which I'm sure there's some ethical issues there, but we'll think about them when we are in a better state of the economy. I think we'll go for autonomous mining drones though. The mining station output bonuses are just so nice. Period. Do I still smoke cigars? Very occasionally. Very occasionally. It happens. Or, I won't read this because this is generic. There is another Oh man, I know who we met. We met another species. Just a reminder, we went through one of the wormholes and we immediately popped into the borders of an alien empire who we have not met yet. That's who we're currently talking to. We have not figured out who that is yet. And then we're about to go through the second wormhole we have up in the north, which again will be really indicative of if we can grow our borders beyond what you see here. I'm hoping that second wormhole will give us unexplored, uncolonized space, unlike the first one, but we'll have to see. You missed all the lore between this and CK3. There is a wiki, Nestig, if you'd like it. There's just so much lore. Is there a list of used mods? There is. Let me grab them for you real quick. I do have that made. Yeah, Nero. I think it is them. We'll see. Sometimes it'll lie, but I think that's who we met. Oh no, they're not space Vikings. And then the wiki link I will grow get as well here. And the wiki. It's mostly filled out for the early Stellaris portion, but like especially with the old rulers like the Torres, kings and emperors and stuff, there's a good amount of lore. Thank you again, Trucker Nero. Dude, the amount of stuff you put on there is wild. Incredible. The profile pic being blank. Oh, you mean no one on Cerberus. Okay. You did beat me to it. Cerberus. That would be our prison world. That gave us a crash last time, so I'm a little bit wary. We'll go with Loretta Cohen for the governor. Cerberus being the Mustafarian magma planet, moon that orbits Hades, the capital for the UNE Army and the UNE Marines, which is a world entirely filled with giant spiders, which is where we train our armed forces.
Research complete.
Know about the recent India Maldives thing that is happening? I don't, Master. What's going on with that? Are they claiming it, or is the Maldives like trying to get more of their people off of the islands? Maldives is a really interesting country for so many reasons. They are 1 part tax haven, 2 part super rich playground essentially. We'll go with the lasers. Those are very useful. We do want to be a lot more mindful of military technologies here now that we're already seeing wars, right? So I think both the Parliament of the UNE and the UNE as a whole would be looking to be a little bit more careful when it comes to their military power. Oh, look at that. There we go. We're calling the Maldives seems like a very short-term investment. Some of the islands won't go underwater for quite a while, Dante, and the amount of revenue brought in by like the luxury hotels and stuff there is pretty high. I don't think it'd be worth creating a diplomatic incident over, but it is pretty valuable. Like kind of like a pleasure area that brings in a lot of revenue for the, what's like the autocrat's name who rules it? I forget his name. Hostas as an upgrade, we'll go for carefulness too. What are we looking on jobs? Terranova is in need of more. We'll go for another industrial district. Originally, Terra Nova was colonized to be an agricultural world, which it is. It's one of our primary food producers outside of obviously Earth, but it also has, out of necessity, kind of become a manufacturing world too. Overall, just very prosperous. Looking good. Here we go. The Union of Dwarven Socialist Republics. It is them. I bring greetings from Grand Marshal Vildenir, the undisputed ruler of the Union of Dwarven Socialist Republics. Respect our borders and keep out of our affairs, and perhaps our mightiest fleet will refrain from visiting your worlds. So that's who's through the first wormhole we went through. Proud nationalists. They are fanatic industrialists, fanatic authoritarian, and militarist. Quite dangerous, to put it frankly. One of the many nations I was hoping we would not border early on. We'll be friendly though. We'll send our ambassadors. We've kind of, our approach to foreign policy in the galaxy so far has been, regardless of meeting conditions, be friendly, send ambassadors, and hope that we can reconcile or rebuild anything that potentially goes bad. We need to ask you to stop. Your recent aggression is making all doors nervous. We did technically go through a wormhole into their borders without provocation, but I mean, we had no way of knowing. They're suspicious. It could be worse. Given the state of our economy, really like communications with them. We don't have any knowledge or maps on the other part of the galaxy. They would be very useful if we got them friendly, just to give us an understanding of how things sit. Given we have a wormhole, right, geopolitically it'd be so important we know what's going on over there. And we are also building up, obviously, a very militarized station around that wormhole. We're gonna send them a gift. Trading with them could be very useful too. Just to set the tone here. The dolphin. We need to give them democracy? Oh god, are we the US already? I was hoping it'd take a bit longer. They closed their borders. We're gonna make an attempt here to reconcile. I'm gonna open our borders with them too. Teresa Torres again has campaigned and has attempted to be very conciliatory and very friendly towards all alien empires and species we've met. So we might as well give it another shot here, given that is certainly her temperament and style of diplomacy.
Spaceborne life forms encountered.
They do have, would it be democracy? No, they're fanatic authoritarian. There'd be like basically Stalin, a Dorvan Marxist Stalin in charge, more or less. A military dictatorship. We didn't get there in time. Okay, so this is a big thing I forgot about, and I could have done anything if I wanted to. So at the end of last session, we had reports from our scanners that there was a large asteroid within, I believe, the borders of the WEX system. Wasn't it? Whereby it was moving and it was on a collision course with our recently colonized planet of New Alexandria. The station built there was unable to hit it with any sorts of missiles, not being militarized, and although we dispatched the fleet, it was unable to get there in time. As you can see, as soon as news came, we dispatched it from Earth. But the galaxy is a big place, and our technology is not very quick. This obviously will have set off, and did already set off, the idea that we need to build a hyper relay network. Obviously, the technology does exist for it now, because our sublight speed to get to, New Alexandria is relatively close to the capital in the center of the empire. Can you imagine if this was way out in the periphery of our empire? Our ships just moved too slow, and as a result, we were unable to stop the asteroid. Oh, that's like a couple million people dead. Jesus. Oh, we got to freeze. We're good. Wow. That would be a scandal. It'd be more than a scandal. It's not... Technically, more people would have died than the crystalline catastrophe. Oh, man. That'll hurt her in the polls at the least. What would be the response to something like that, though? Because you can't blame it on anyone. And I'm sure a lot of people would be very angry with Teresa Torres' government and say she didn't prepare for it, which she didn't. But the realistic issue here is we can't move around the UNE systems quick enough, fundamentally. And it is not just a security threat in case of war, but is now clearly an internal threat to any sorts of natural disaster. I'd imagine our biggest opponents would demand her resignation. They probably would. I don't think it would pass, given how much of the parliament would probably be her party right now, but there would be calls for a no confidence vote. I am going to put a resolution into Congress, though. We'll say that this is put in place by like a little bit further right parties, which would be probably the Alliance of Sacred Traditions and then the Warrior Lodge. But it'll be a bipartisan bill. So after this situation, obviously it would be framed as the fault of the ruling parties and the part of Teresa Torres. But knowing that they could not get a no confidence vote passed, instead, they proposed a policy on the floor of the UNE Parliament demanding that all expansion of borders and projects stop and that all resources go towards a relay network until such time as all UNE systems are united by relay networks. The highways of the next generation of UNE governance, all other things will stop. So I will put that to a poll and it's for you to decide. But it will be used as a political tool to basically condemn the president and her party without formally condemning them, which would be a bit smarter and is more doable. All right, poll is up. So that means I will not focus on anything else until they're done. We've already started it, but currently for Teresa Torres and the ruling government, it will just be a component because we are still expanding our borders. We're still focusing on other things like building up our star bases. If this is voted on and passed, I'm going to put none of our resources into anything else and probably build some more construction ships. So, and politically and roleplay wise, it would probably start to frame this disaster against the ruling party and against Teresa Torres. So just a heads up. Also, the Doors did open their borders with us. They're cordial. Oh, let's go. God damn it, now they're neutral. We'll send another diplomat. We can reconcile with them, which is what we want, so that's going the way President Torres had hoped. Through Draconir, they are. Because you got to remember, hyper relays take not just what's it called? It takes influence, a lot of alloys, and a lot of crystals to build, so they are incredibly costly to do. The benefits are you can jump around and we can build a highway for the whole empire, which would be great for trade, for military security, for internal stability and crisis response like this. But it'll be a high price. We would have to probably build at least 24 of them, and given the price, that would come out to be
Research complete.
well over 500 influence. You're looking at close to 10,000 alloys and 1,500 rare crystals. So a lot of resources that would be going other places. worlds very quickly. So you gotta guard your borders and you gotta win your wars, because otherwise they will fuck you. But we don't, I think, have a concept for that yet, so it's not a huge deal quite yet. We also did complete our agenda for mechanical motivators, which has been the main policy after the stabilization of the economy for Teresa Torres and the ruling government. In order to jumpstart the economy, provide low-level jobs to allow education to actually be useful and be fully filled on our worlds, we have massively worked on getting out robotic pops, and that will continue to grow in speed. Beautiful. We're gonna work on building relations. Her other arm besides economic is diplomatic, obviously, so I'm gonna go for build relations so that we can work more on developing relationships with some of these new trading partners and nations we've met. We're about to meet another too, potentially. All right, let's see what's going on over there. We're gonna ask for their star maps. We might be overextended. Yeah, that could be. The science expedition team led by Beak of Kaki from the science vessel MS Lagrange has found a lone fortress on this world. It appears long abandoned, yet is remarkably in pristine conditions. The area surrounding the fortress displays signs of heavy damage, yet the fortress seems untouched. Rare crystal manufacturing. Oh. Oh, wow. We met them. Okay. Hold up real quick. Let me change the music. On YouTube, I believe. Bear with me. We did meet the squids. All right, we're waiting on the music, which I'd like for this meeting, but we'll see. Trying desperately. I don't know why, it's been weird lately. When I've been playing games and I have like YouTube going for anything, it's been so slow. I don't know what it is. There we go. Alrighty. Oh, we met 3 different empires. Alright, the Aurelian Kingdom. You hacked into us, and now you call us friend? Bah, the Aurelian Kingdom will remain vigilant towards your kind. Ecologist, fanatic elitist, authoritarian, militarist, aquatic, aristocratic, monarchy. There they are. The AVR Collective, Congressional Republic, fanatic cooperative, ecologist, xenophile, militarist. Same thing. You call us a friend. I would say we hacked into them. We were given their number by the space stores. Maybe they're not popular. The other humans? People's Revolutionary Interstellar Vanguard. I'm gonna read their lore. There is lore for them. Industrialist, pluralist, fanatic, egalitarian, militarist. And then the Boki Warrior clans. I represent the Boki Warrior clans. Our elected leader, First Chief Duret, would have you know that there are more than capable of defending our way of life. Do not interfere in our affairs. And the Stormwall Defense Conglomerate. I speak for CEO Jeanette Fairfax and the wealthy elite of the Stormwall Defense Conglomerate. Your alien ways are objectionable to us, but perhaps we can still engage in limited trade, assuming your inferior civilization produces anything of value. All over here from the looks of it. All right, we got a couple I need to read the lore on because they're player made. So the Boki are right next to the Vanguard. And then there's a Fallen Empire there too. The Aviar and the Aurelians are at war. Oh, wow. And they're losing badly. The Aurelians are winning by a lot. It's in an embassy. Yeah, they're very aggressive and militaristic. Lore time, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get up the Lord page really quickly. We'll start with the Aviar. Do they have a theme song to play? Let me see. They do. All right, first off, we have the Aviar Collective, which is the one currently losing the war with the Aurelians. In the early days, the Aviar clans of Avoria Prime were scattered across the floating islands, each fiercely guarding its resources and independence. Occasional skirmishes between the clans occurred, but there was no unified conflict between the clans, which began to form councils to consolidate their interests and foster cooperation. As Avoria Prime faced an unprecedented crisis caused by a devastating meteor shower, the Aviar elders gathered to address the imminent threat to their home and way of life. This historic assembly, known as the Council of Skies, emerged from a desire to protect their people and world, leading the clans to form a pact of mutual defense and cooperation. Despite their efforts, tensions with the group, a powerful and expansive clans known as the Warlords, escalated. The Warlords staunchly opposed joining the Council of Skies, fearing a loss of autonomy and dominance over the floating islands. Skirmishes intensified, and the border regions of the Council were raided, leaving the Council no choice but to fight. The conflict soon erupted into the War to End All Conflict, or the Unification War, a devastating war that engulfed Avoria Prime for 2 decades. The war exacted a heavy toll on the Aviar, with over 300 million lives lost, including 180 million civilians. The once serene skies were filled with aerial battles, and the floating islands bore the scars of destruction. During this, 2 prominent leaders emerged during the Unification War. They're led by a council. It's not a single rule, it's a group of chosen elders. The Aviar are avian creatures with elegant and diverse plumage, ranging in colors from vivid blues and greens to radiant yellows and oranges. They vary in size, with wingspans spanning from relatively small to impressive lengths, aiding their mobility and their native skies. Their beaks are specialized for various purposes, such as foraging, communication, and craftsmanship. That is the Aviar, ladies and gentlemen. Who else did we meet? Who's player-led? Oh. Hold up. Decades before humanity's recent breakthroughs in FTL travel, experimental attempts... Push back. This is the other humans. Now, there are 3 human civilizations if they have survived, so this would be the first one we've met that's not our own, and there is one more out there. Just a heads up. Decades before humanity's recent breakthroughs in FTL technology, experimental attempts linked with early efforts of interstellar space colonization were tried and seemingly ended in failure. In reality, after the jump, the Spirit of Cesari flotilla found itself in the unknown regions of space. Across the flotilla, many engineers, mid-level officers, scientists, and other workers who had been accepted to join the colonization efforts had been members of the 693rd Internationale back on Earth. That was, of course, the communist faction that was defeated at the end of Hoi 4, which is now almost 300 years ago at this point. An underground political movement called a terrorist group by some that sought to liberate humanity from the neo-monarchical, neoliberal world order that solidified around the Torres regime in the mid-20th century. The plan for these members of the flotilla had always been to seize control of the economy from those that had been initially selected to lead. So when infighting broke out about how to handle the unexpected situation of winding up in an unknown star system, they were quick to act and seize control and organize as the People's Revolutionary Interstellar Vanguard. The flotilla was lucky enough to find itself in a system with a planet that provided habitable enough for the colonists to live and breathe in the open air, a world which would come to be known as New Uppsala. Of course, the Scandinavians being very, very socialist at the end of Hoi 4. It was there the PRIV got to work establishing a new society which embodied their revolutionary ideals, and which might one day find Earth again, so their cousins would be liberated. So they'll be very hostile. Having finally established themselves well enough on New Epsilon to begin looking outwards at the stars again, the day might be soon. So they're primarily made up of Scandinavians, people from the Chagatai, the communist nation that was defeated, and then Native Americans, who were obviously downtrodden in the American sphere. Cool. They're apparently mildly friendly, though. We're gonna go with the roleplay though, which is they're hostile, so I won't go with that. Next we have the Stormwall Defense Conglomerate. The Avalonians, in awe-inspiring aquatic species, exhibit a majestic fusion of whale-like grandeur and humanoid elegance. Possessing streamlined muscular torsos reminiscent of whales, their bodies seamlessly transition into a humanoid upper half adorned with expressive eyes and webbed fingers for dexterous movement. A smooth iridescent skin adds to otherworldly luminance in their appearance, reflecting the play of light in their ocean habitat. Here's a giant lore page. Oh, Jesus. I'll read some of this. There's 12 pages. I'll put the full link for anyone who would like to read it. The Ynon Republic, a coalition of city-states, dominated this era alongside the Estonian Empire. The mysterious empire they traded with later was in fact this empire after it fled. The Republic was a response to the looming threat posed by the Estonia Empire. The Estonia Wars marked a series of conflicts between the Ynon Republic and the Estonia Empire, fought for dominance over the resources and territories of the Colonies. These wars saw both powers engaged in intense naval and land battles, the Ynon Republic demonstrating superior military coordination and strategic prowess. The conflicts culminated in a decisive defeat for the Estonia Empire, and the Ynon Republic effectively expelled Estonia's forces, securing the independence and autonomy of the city-states. This is the first era, by the way. There's a couple. The Estonian loss reshaped the power dynamics of Aquinas, solidifying influence and military strength in the Ynon Republic. While defeated in the conflicts of the Colonies, the Estonian Empire managed to survive. Faced with overwhelming opposition, the Empire made a strategic decision to abandon its presence on the Aquinas continent. Crossing the vast expanse of the Ynon Ocean, the Estonian Empire embarked on a journey into unknown waters, seeking refuge and an opportunity for resurgence. Where'd the music go? Come on, YouTube, I believe! Jesus. The Estonian Wars had a profound impact on the Republic. The decisive victory solidified the unity of the city-states and established the Ynon Republic as the dominant power on Colonies. The members of these conflicts shaped a Norian society, fostering a sense of resilience and collective identity that would influence the political and military strategies of the Republic in the eras to come. The Aquilonis continent. A continent is a loose term. It was a large number of islands close together, each island roughly a single city-state during the Republic's time. Both states fought numerous conflicts. During the Estonian Wars, a decisive Estonian loss. If this is the ancient era, I'm going to kind of jump forward to the recent one, because there's so much to read here. Here's the one we want. That's like the real ancient history for them. We're going to jump right to the 4th era. 140 years after the Great War, the Viridian Republic stood at the cusp of a groundbreaking achievement, the completion of FTL vessels. However, 2 months before the historic launch, the world was thrust into chaos by an unforeseen and devastating assault that forever altered the course of history. Anticipation and excitement had been enveloping the Republic as the date drew ever closer, the spacecraft and culmination of decades of scientific innovation and engineering prowess. On the 6th month of the year, ironically 4 days before Independence Day, on the 8th of the month, the invasion began. Anticipation was shattered by the surprise invasion. Coordinated strikes targeted central authority figures across the planet with utter precision. In a single night, the Viridian President, Secretary General of the United Nations, the King of Ynon, and numerous other world leaders met their demise. The strikes hit with precision, eliminating the capitals of each nation as well, leaving most capitals under alien control, the nations crumbling amongst them. The invasion stalled, however, the Avalonians with their territorial sense in their home and their unflinching spirit, so they were invaded by aliens. The aliens found resistance everywhere, even behind their lines. The Stormwall Defense Conglomerate was founded to fill the void. Formed by influential businessmen and resilient military figures, the entity emerged to fight back against the invasion, so it was a corporate response. Filling the void of ununified leadership against the invasion, they quickly centralized the remnants into a centralized authority and began their defense strategy. The Stormwall Initiative. To defend our homeworld, repel the invaders, and rebuild. The initiative was concocted in the last years of the invasion, a pivotal turning point in Avalonian stand against the invaders, ultimately the end of the invasion. From their fortified regions and with intensive planning from the military command, the counteroffensive was meticulously planned. Coordinated strikes targeted vulnerable points, identified through intelligence, utilizing technology, both Babylonian and stolen from the invaders, launching a series of decisive blows. In the wake of the offensive, the liberated captured territories at the time. Since the invasion saw the turn of the struggle, Stormwall forces were able to win in the urban areas. Facing technologically superior foes, Stormwall forces adapted guerrilla tactics and adaptive warfare strategies, including lots of hit and run. The liberation efforts were not solely the domain of organized military forces. Communities armed with makeshift weapons and unyielding determination. What are their traits? Species. Ocean preference, perfectionist, metallic talk, technicism, territorial unflinching, infanticidal. Jesus. Civilians played a crucial role of intelligence gathering, supporting wounded soldiers, and maintaining a steadfast commitment to liberation. In the aftermath of the conflict, the Stormwall defense conglomerate, having proved its effectiveness and resilience, seized the opportunity to transition from a wartime alliance into a dominant global force. The consolidation of Stormwall as the de facto authority of the planet unfolded through a combination of strategic, economic, and political maneuvers, with traditional governments and structures weakened in a disarray of the invasion. Stormwall stepped into the void, positioning itself as a stabilizing force in the post-war era. The conglomerate's effective response to crises oh man, now that's some LARP. Corporate authorities being effective with post-war rebuilding. Construction efforts and its ability to maintain order in the liberated territories garnered widespread trust and support from populations seeking stability. Leveraging the economic resources amassed during the war, Stormwall played a pivotal role in global reconstruction. The conglomerate became the primary source of funding for rebuilding efforts. By controlling the economic reins, Stormwall gained influence over nations and regions eager for financial support. Recognizing the need for a new form of governance, Stormwall proposed global initiatives focused on cooperation and unity. This is some corporate fucking... Was this written by Milton Friedman? Did Morton Friedman's ghostwrite this? It sounds like it. The conglomerate advocated for collaborative efforts in addressing ongoing challenges such as environmental recovery, refugee resettlement, and establishing of international standards for post-war governance. Having demonstrated its military prowess during the invasion and subsequent liberation, Stormwall integrated military and security forces. So the corporate authority took over the planet during the post-war era after being invaded by aliens. It's a rough way to lose out the corporations, man. Stormwall, having reverse engineered and adapted extraterrestrial technology, achieved technological hegemony. The conglomerate controlled advanced weapons, communication systems, and cutting-edge innovations. Nations saw access to Stormwall's technological arsenal, further solidifying the conglomerate's influence over global affairs. To foster a sense of unity, Stormwall undertook cultural initiation programs and promised a narrative of shared identity and purpose. A carefully crafted public relations campaign rebranded Stormwall as a symbol of hope and guarantee of a peaceful and prosperous future. Man, this is some dark shit. Stormwall exercised considerable influence in shaping international laws and policy in the post-war era. In time, the Stormwall defense conglomerate successfully transformed from a wartime coalition of global superpowers and political and economic interests. Its consolidation marked a new era in human history, one where Stormwall's influence extended far beyond the remnants of traditional nation-states. Lazy manager megacorp. Fuck. So we got the space communist dwarves, the space socialist humans, and then right next to them, a pure corporatist government. So his profile's fucked up a little bit there. They're not a big fan of us. They are fanatic, industrial, xenophobic, which makes sense. They were invaded by aliens, very hostile, militarist, and then materialist. Yeah, corporate. Why can't I say it? Corptocracy. That's enough. And then were there any other lore I needed to read? Nope. So, we have met 4 player empires, and then the Boki warrior clans. I almost missed them. Last one to read here. They were like the third. Here we go. The Boki evolved in a hot, humid world with abundance of flora and fauna. The competition for resources between the groups was fierce, and their history is defined by wars against complex family units over these resources. These waging periods are broken up by periodic swarming by the planet's second sapient species, the insectoid Agaki. The swarm wars would be the main driving force behind advancement of Boki society and technology, and would be the taming of the Agaki that would lead to the unification of the clans and thus their world. The Boki are an avian species, physically stronger and longer lived than humans, but far less adaptable when it comes to foreign environments. The feathers on their body are part of their circulatory system, acting like a heat sink in the jungles of their homeworld. 2 sets of eyes give them a wider field of vision than humans and greater depth perception in their peripherals. One's a little bit shorter. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we have met a very large section of the galaxy here. There's a lot of politics and a lot of clashing ideologies going on in I'm going to use it, the eastern parts of the galaxy. Waiting for YouTube here, hopefully. Come on, buddy, you can do it. I really am going to have to find an alternative to YouTube. That's such a shame. So convenient. We show all the species and empires in the edited videos. I'm going to give them like a 2 or 3 minute kind of intro in the videos. The Stellaris video series will be long, by the way, folks. I'd guess at least probably 24 episodes or so. Which means the second grand campaign I may actually not get to until possibly even fall. I'm not rushing it, so I haven't had the time to edit that I would have liked lately. Come on, YouTube. My God. I think the play here is I'm just going to play like a single playlist of music that's all in one. I know what I'll do. Bear with me. Now it plays. Okay. The other humans are at war? They are. The Boki warrior clans are at war of the Vanguard, the human Vanguard. Wow, there's a lot of wars going on. So the Interstellar Vanguard is at war with the Boki warrior clans, and then the Aviar Collective is at war with the Aurelian Kingdom. A lot of wars going on in the galaxy right now. All right, where are you? I know there's a full playlist. Try Spotify, actually. No, because I work. Here we go. Figure why it's going so slow. Unless I'm out of room on my hard drive or something. Let me go check. The game's running smooth though. May just turn on in-game music for a bit too, because that's not copyrighted. Christ, yeah, we're gonna do that for a bit. Well, this actually will work. We're going back to basics, folks. We're gonna listen to some basic Stellaris music for a while here. I will get this figured out for next week, hopefully. Anyway, you want to check it on the AVR, okay? Oh man, what's the commands? That'll take a minute as well. Does anyone remember the command to be able to see the IDs to tag the countries? Debug tooltip. Okay. And it is the tag. It's the ID 7. And then is it, what's the switch command? I had this a while back. I just haven't done it in a few weeks. All goes out of my head. I'm seeing in the command list. Play? Okay. Oh, they only have one planet left. Oh, it's so much worse than I thought it was. Yeah, the Aviar only have one planet. They have a fleet of 3,000. Oh, Jesus, the Aurelians have 10,000 fleet power in their home system. We found them just in time to see the demise of the Aviar. Jesus. Oh. That is sad. The last of the Aviar's fleet preparing to fight against all the odds. Look at that. The state of the Aviar are not good. They're about to be annexed. They've had to go completely militarist. If they spawn next to each other, I wonder, I wish there was like a log for Stellaris, which there isn't, to show what happens. But they might have been fighting them for quite a while. The Aurelians actually appear to only have 2 planets or so, but their fleet is enormous. 4 colony ships all stuck in their borders too. Yeah, they've been getting pounded for a while. It is the last stand. I'm gonna get a save here. Throw this into the video. We'll see. Not what you wanted, I know, but that is the state of the Aviar. They do have 3 planets, all in their home system. There we go. Unfortunate. Yeah, I agree too, Anrak. I like, not even like exile governments, but like migration and like, you know how they're the traders, right? Who will go around and like, you know, they're basically all on ships. Or like in Mass Effect, Tali's race, what are they called? I always forget the name of them. But her species had lost their planet, right? And they moved onto their ships. Features like that for Stellaris would be so amazing. There's a lot of amazing features that should be made for Stellaris, but you know for a fact that they're already looking towards Stellaris 2, so they can relaunch and charge 60, which sucks. Because this game is incredible, but there's so many more things they could do with it. The devs are great. Don't think I'm hating on them, but I know the company's going to make the move on. All right, where were we? Before we met all those species. So obviously, given the plethora of new civilizations we've met, Teresa Torres would... A lot of the news would be shifting towards the alien civilizations and away from the meteor impact, which would be good, though obviously we still are on our hyper relay program. We can't go around that. That was Parliament who decided that. And it would help to obviously fill her narrative, that is that we need to be more diplomatic due to the dangers out there by alien species, which we would now know is very true. Of the quadrant of the galaxy we met, 4 of them are at war, and in very brutal wars too. I'm sure we'd have news and images coming in of the last stand of the Aviar at some point here. Maybe not now because we're not close with the Aurelians, but it would continue to speak to the dangers out in space, which would reinforce the fact that we of course should build the hyper relay network so we can defend our borders, but the need to also militarize more in general. And on that topic, we are going to go for battleships. Getting those way earlier than I expected, my gosh. The other thing I love to see in Stellaris, and I say that every time I play this game, but it's true, is I want an actual religion system. Spiritualist is not religious. They have religion, they care about it, but they're not actual religions, right? I've always been so disappointed. You know, I'd pay like their stupid prices for a religion DLC for Stellaris if they did it right, you know? And there's a lot of really good examples for that in various games they could build off of, which would be interesting, I think. But anyway, back to the politics of the United Nations of Earth. We are now in a surplus of energy. Only thing we're lacking a bit in is consumer goods. But as soon as those new factories are built on Terra Nova, we're going to be in much better shape. We obviously are putting out now the robotic workers to deal with these sorts of issues. Yeah, there is, I think, one more bird. Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, the second wormhole. Tianki, okay. There's no station. I think. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Let's go through it. Whoa. It's wild. I love beautiful Stellaris mods. Yeah, that's cool. Full for a world. Tianki feeding grounds. Whoa. Remember, we're pretty hostile to all spaceborne life forms after the crystalline catastrophe. So the second wormhole has taken us just north of the AVR Collective into the northeastern corner of the galaxy. It does appear to be uninhabited from the looks of it, which is good. Oh man. The Cold of Adam points to the nuclear bomb. For who? That's cool as hell. Man, I like that system. Look at that. Environmental hazards. Nebula block out sensors. So it's in the middle of a giant nebula. We need to send more science ships through there. Do we have any currently in the northern part of our systems? We have 2. We'll send the Hawking through as well. And let's start to explore that region of space. If we're lucky, we can get a foothold there, but we can't because we're building the hyper relay network. We'll see how it is, but we obviously want to try and get that system there and establish a presence on the other part of the galaxy. We are running into borders very quickly at our own, and although obviously the great hyper highway comes first, that's important to secure for the future. Yeah, an outpost there would be massive. That's close enough to the AVR. I mean, we're not going to get involved in that conflict, but we'll see what happens there. I think they're just going to get outright annexed, unfortunately. Alrighty. A lot happening already. They need some more jobs on Hades. Again, it is a military world. We'll go with agriculture. Do we really want to go for agriculture? For all the arachnids? All right, second poll of the day. I can't decide, so I'll let you guys choose it. What do you think we should be like with the population who's going to build up, or obviously around the military facilities and training grounds on Hades, much like anywhere, you know, there's a lot of military presence. There needs to be a lot of auxiliary jobs and things for that. So what do we want to do? What's Hades' economy going to be based on? You're all economic and military counselors to the governor of Hades, discussing what it will be focused on. Industry probably would make the most sense. Are we looking on those hyper relays? Is it bugged? No. I'll get there in time. I'm gonna send it to Jekyll, I think. Where we have our station. I am gonna take away one of the anchorages and replace it with a shipyard so we can produce and then maintain, obviously, ships more in the central region until the hyperhighway is built. We can activate it again? The things this could do for our economy. We can already get another 1,500 alloys. That's insane. We can speed this up. We're gonna build some more construction ships and speed up the highway construction. It's really, we need to get that done very quickly, and we're gonna have the alloys, especially with their whatever that relic is called, and the influence to be able to build it pretty quickly. So I'm gonna get some more construction ships out. We're gonna speed this up a little bit, I think. More deals for civilian goods. You gotta remember we are also about to get some more jobs there, I thought, or no. Okay, we'll build one more though. Take a look at the worlds really quickly. We might have to if we don't have any ability to produce them here. Or New Alexandria. Can we do anything to help that world? Nope. Got a huge surplus of food now. It's actually getting a little too high, so we got to keep an eye on that. Food prices are going lower, but you don't want them too bad. This is definitely not like a free market capitalist economy that we have, but it is a free market one, so we want to be a little bit careful with subsidizing prices. Well, we're not subsidizing. It's just that there's been enough. Anytime you play a paradox game, it's almost a bit of a command economy, which is definitely this, but we'll see. Our great scientist Montresor Saldana has passed away at age 97. While in service to our empire, the people clamor for a memorial service to honor the leader's contribution. He was one of our scientists. He's done dozens of important projects and was always more of a background figure in our scientific exploration, but he was a very key one, so we'll do a proper state funeral for him. He's a hero, and he certainly deserves it.
System probe complete.
Good man. Great man. Hide! Industrial, agrarian, or more fortresses. We're gonna go industrial. Industrial heartlands. Unemployed humans. They don't want to work basic labor jobs. This is what I mean, right? This is why we're building so many robots right now under the Teresa Torres presidency, is educated humans do not want to work basic low-paying jobs, and who can blame them? So we technically need more jobs on Earth. That's hilarious. I'm gonna build a city district, and I'm gonna build a new building to give them jobs that they're gonna be willing to work. He was the one who died. We are in need of a new scientist, and there are no humans available. The Boki are in our borders? No, it's from Twakstar, because the Gavuz have a migration treaty with them, the Twakstar, who are probably mass migrating due to the war with those who remember. Wow, and then they've gotten to our borders from there. He's capable. Let's do it. Wings of Orange. Well, he gets a very, very public position as the leader of the Sojourner, which is the first scientific craft to go into the new part of the galaxy too. So he's going to be under a lot of scrutiny. Yeah, that goes. What else? Rubicon. Build the hyper relay. The other one will build on Procyon. Such a good world, but we can't take it because, again, I said that until the hyper relay network is done, we can't do anything. So I'm going to stick by that. We're not going to take that system.
Our colony ships have landed.
Beautiful. Sanctuary is being colonized. We will get a new governor. Really over, aren't we? Kind of can't actually. Okay, we'll send Pissanah. He's a very capable governor. He's been on Frontier Worlds before. We'll send him. A Cohen. Cerberus governor. We're gonna make her even more principled. Oh, righteous would be good actually. We're gonna go for righteous. Anti-crime, that makes sense. She is the governor of a prison world, so that would be nice to have, wouldn't it? Earlier today, a barrage of surface-to-space missiles was launched. Oh, God. From the surface of KE-7514, that's the Yesnon, where our rogue scientist has become the leader and/or god. At our observation post in high orbit, the station was destroyed with no survivors. We never heard from the task force we sent down there either, in response. The civilization on the planet's surface has advanced at an incredible rate, no doubt thanks to the efforts of our rogue scientist. We must now look upon them as a potential threat, and the window of opportunity to remove the scientist has been closed. Greetings, you have no doubt taken note of our ascent from humble beginnings, just as we have taken note of your starbase orbiting our star. To understand what this starbase represents, some hypothetical claim on this system, we ask only that you relinquish the hold on our space, ceding the starbase to the beings who have called KE-751 home since time immemorial. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, an emergency meeting of the UN Parliament is in session. Two options. One, we have been attacked and we can see it as an act of war and go to war against the Yesnon and the human who leads them. Or we can give them the system and we can leave them to their own devices. But remember, there would have been like hundreds, possibly even thousands of humans killed on that station. So, by all means, according to the UNE Charter, that would be seen as an act of war if we choose to take it that way. So, let's decide what we're going to do. And on that note, I am going to go get a drink of water, get some more water, and go to the bathroom. I will be right back. You get to decide if we go to war with the Yesnon, a nation that we have interfered with since the beginning, and now seen the consequences of quite clearly. right, I'm back. Looks like we are absolutely going to war, so I will not even wait for that poll to finish. A laughable demand from an immature civilization. We lose influence? All right. Let's deploy the fleet we sent. And we're going to send in the Marines. I think we have some more on the planet there. Let me check. I thought we'd build up more. Recruit a division from the wreckage of New Alexandria. Can we do that? No, we don't have enough there. We'll recruit more from Hades then. Ten more divisions of UNE Marines, and then we will dispatch the 7 that we currently have to the KE system alongside our secondary response fleet. We're going to prepare the way for war. The UNE High Command, in a meeting after Parliament unequivocally voted to respond with a declaration of war, given that we already were declared. What? Oh shit! The rebels won? We got their planet. After being destroyed by their enemies, the remnants of the leadership of the Yesnon galactic hegemony formed a government in exile. That's the ruling autocrats with our scientists. However, being unable to find any other nation willing to host the government in exile has officially announced their dissolution. How this will affect the political climate of the galaxy remains to be seen. What the fuck? The rebels won the civil war that we had originally supported after this situation happened in the first strike. And while the UNE declared war and was preparing to send troops, they made a push, took over the planet, and I guess we would have received a diplomatic communication requesting to join the UNE. Look at that Draco Nero. Holy shit. And with that, the Imperial Unity Union faction has been founded on Earth. Wow, what the hell? So they immediately surrendered after the new government took power. The question though is if we want to even allow them to incorporate, right? We might not necessarily want them in the UNE. We've been very friendly with Xenos and alien species, but this one has proved incredibly problematic, warlike, authoritarian. But we did cause many of their more recent issues, didn't we? Another UNE vote. That did not go the way I expected. Simply put, yes or no. I'm gonna make this a short poll. This will be 2 minutes long. Commit historical genocide with zero repercussions, incorporate them into society, hoping they forget and still be racist to them 400 years later. This is just how you deal with native peoples. I could see some issues coming out of this in the future. You gotta remember also that this species is a little rough, right? Yesnon are not similar to our species. Let me find them really quickly. They are lithoids, they are charismatic, they are strong, they are territorial, they have a third eye, they have tail blades, and they are living dead. The conventional standards, the bodies of the species are nearly lifeless or dead already. They're not too different, I suppose, but they're territorial, and integrating their world into our own could make for some serious cultural issues in the future, right? It's very dangerous if we do this. There's a lot of them too, folks. Because we give them full citizen rights, meaning they could vote. And ideologically, they're very autocratic and authoritarian. And we have to give them full voting rights, right? Which would mean our politics would shift dramatically to the right, most likely. It would be a huge political change for us. And the world is starving and in horrible shape, and we'd have to put a lot of resources into rebuilding it, which we wouldn't. We're the type of species and government that wouldn't be opposed to doing that, but there are a lot of downsides here. Yeah, here's their demographics. Fanatic authoritarian, militarist, spiritual authoritarian, ecologists. A lot of them are authoritarians of various sorts, right? I'll look at the crime too. Yes. Could we create a puppet empire and have them be a member of the UNE? There's no way we'd do that with our government. We'd let them join, or we wouldn't, I think, the way that we kind of roll. A client state? I don't think so. The UNE is not that kind, right? Like, if we're going to justify letting them join to rebuild and allow them to be incorporated. All right, I'll do a pull for it though. Quick 1 minute pull. Do we make them a client state or not? Do a quick one. I can see why we might, but the UNE just doesn't seem like ideologically the type to do that with like client states and stuff. If we do though, it will set a precedent, I will say. We won't be opposed to doing it in the future. Because there's really no upside to it, and there's no like political reason we would, I think. Puerto Rico kind of situation, yeah, that could be true. Just not give them any rights, but like control them essentially. That would put us down a very different path ideologically. Yeah, we'd be making them second-class citizens, right? I mean, that's what that is. Client state is second-class citizens. They're not allowed to vote. They're not going to get like tax money back from us unless we gift it to them, you know, those sorts of things. So we would be authoritarian leaders, right? I mean, a lot of people historically and in games like this will justify like vassals through like good means, and sure, you can make propaganda for it, but the reality is a client state would be extractive and would not give them rights. Unless it's like, we're gonna just rebuild under this and then give them independence later. But that would require us to give away the system. Integrate. Oh, it's pretty close though, 8-5. Fuck me, all right. Well, they need jobs, and we have huge crime issues there. What's our best anti-crime governor? I think we're gonna have to send that recent one we had who's in charge of the prison complex. She's like the really capable one with dealing with crime. Where is she? So many fucking leaders here. Just a new one, she'll be pretty low down. Loretta Cohen, we're gonna send her. She is principled and will not be corrupted, and she's righteous, meaning that we will be able to deal with the crime issues on. We need a new name for the planet too, by the way, folks. Anyone got a good name? We need a good planet name. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying that repeatedly. Not a chance. Something like related to rocks or something that would translate into the human language like that. Something related to like minerals, maybe. Anyone have a good name? I'll think of something if not, but let's see if anyone has one. The Haiti situation? What would be like the case historically of like a war-broken country being forcefully like integrated into another state after like a civil war? I'm sure there's one, I just can't think of it. Zemja, which is earth in your language. As in like earth as in the ground, not like the planet, right? Both? That's interesting. We'll go with Zemja. I do like that. Sounds nice. Zemja. Okay. Anyhow, how do we deal with this? We're gonna have to break down the temples, which will cause problems. Let's not do an Iraq here, folks. This is like a situation like after invading Iraq, and like instead of it becoming like a client state occupied territory that we tried to like neoliberalize. It was just integrated and made into like a state of the United States. So let's not try and do what we did there. So let's not destroy any of their buildings and displace their workers already. Let's not do that. That didn't work well for the US in real life, so let's not do that. We need good paying jobs, local industry, would not be owned by our corporations. We're liberal enough to do that with this government, I think. That would actually like sell and be useful. So let's start by building a civilian industry plant there, which would provide good jobs and obviously be bought, given that there is a price difference there. They primarily produce industrial goods, a lot of minerals, energy. They have an issue of amenities though. We'll build a holo theater for our second building. And then we should be good on jobs. We need an enforcer complex though, don't we? Holo theaters. And then precinct houses. That first. A lot of people died. We're going to disable the temple, but we're not going to destroy it. There's no one, I believe, being employed there at the moment. No. We're going to upgrade their research labs to provide modern technologies and modern equipment that we are using, and they are not. Obviously, it'd be probably pretty modern given there was a human scientist running the show there for a couple of years, but we'll provide it with the latest features so that they're up to date and their research is actually going to be useful. I'm sure we do an education drive alongside that. Launch an anti-crime campaign. No use declaring martial law yet, given that there are no soldiers currently based there, and we don't have enforcers there. We're going to hire locals, though. We'll obviously integrate their command structure and be trained by humans, but that's the question. Do we want to even send, like, the Marines to occupy the planet now? Because that could be very problematic. I'm going to, we're going to send the main force under Costas back to Hades. And we're going to send one of our military fleets, which will be the armed forces that have previously been on New Vegas and were responsible for dealing with crime issues there. We'll send them to occupy the planet. We'll send Moreau. So a small contingent of soldiers, not enough to be a whole occupying force, but enough that we can get what we want done on the planet. Gonna try and take this like properly democratic for how we deal with the situation. We're gonna distribute luxury goods in order to try and get up quality of life and provide some like entertainment alongside jobs, which would hopefully help them with integrating into human UNE culture a little bit too. We'll see how that goes. Oh, what's up, Wallace? Welcome back. Dude, insomnia, I know the feeling. She's a military man to govern and declare martial law. Cohen's not military, but she is like in that sphere. Her previous posting was in charge of Cerberus, which is our prison world. So she's there to deal with crime. When crime is dealt with, we'll send a military governor. And when that's dealt with, we're going to hire a local Yesnoni governor is what we'll do. We should probably hire a Yesnoni government to start with, actually. Can we do that? I think we have to wait for the refresh. No options yet. When it refreshes, we're going to hire Yesnoni and we're going to make him the governor. We cannot make the face of rebuilding be a UNE human. We just can't. It will not end well. Sanctuary, we're going to build cheap. All right. Oh, here we go. But did we get a new planet? We did. We did. After the planet that the human scientists, the Yesnoni planet, was in the Civil War, they launched the first strike on us and destroyed our space station in orbit, which we then declared war. And then that response resulted in the rebel forces on the planet overwhelming the ruling autocratic government and then requesting to join the UNE, which we agreed to, and we're now rebuilding. So, all right. Did not see that situation going that way. This is pretty wild. I have no idea if we're going to succeed or not. Cohen is like the chief of police turned politician. Yep. Hopefully not Hoover. That'd be unfortunate. Hopefully not Hoover. That's not the vibe we need there right now. All right, we did restore some stability immediately. We're up to 14%. The nanite stream ejected from the atomic clock, which we didn't blow up a while back, in the KW711 system asteroid belt, has made planetfall on QW711-2A, replicating at an incredible rate. The nanites covered the entire surface of the planet in a period of hours, proceeding to terraform it into a Gaia world. Hours after the completion of the terraforming event, the nanites involved in the process deactivated and decayed beyond recognition, leaving us with the little ability to extract any information from them. Wow, we got a Gaia world. Is that QW 711? Whoa! It's a tiny planet though. It's only 9 for size. Abundant natural radioactivity, thin planetary crust, high quality minerals. It could be a very useful mining outpost planet though. It's a Gaia world. We gotta colonize that. We have the resources, don't we? We do. We'll send a human one. All right, planet name time. If anyone wants to activate it or suggest one, either one, you're welcome to. We need a new planet name. It is a Gaia world that was created by a nanite swarm that was a real issue for us, but turned out to be hopefully harmless. The QW711 system, north of Roljakal. It is still a Gaia world, yeah. Anyone have a name? Or want to burn one? Let's go. Yeah, avoid the Hoovervilles on Zemja. That's definitely the goal. All right, I can name it then. Let me think. What was it before, though? I'm curious now. I'm not naming it after a German tank, Spicy. Absolutely not. Name it Igni. Always liked that name. Cool. We'll make it a mining world to start, and then after we mine the resources out of it, we'll probably turn it into something nicer, given it is a Gaia world. To build another habitable dome on Luna base, we actually have... No, we're still at 1 population. Never mind. It's literally not growing. We'll get robots there. So it looks like a Luna station is going to be like basically entirely worked by robots here before too long. That'll be interesting. Cerberus doesn't have a lot of rehabilitation facilities. Okay, it's been a while. How are we looking? Hyper relays take a while to build. Wow, the Imperial Unity faction actually has 5 supporters, all from Zemja. Look at that. Folks, you'll never guess where the authoritarian faction in the UNE is based out of. It's based out of Zemja, naturally. I told you they were authoritarian. Damascus is a good one, actually, Walrus. That's true. New Cuba? All right, your burn points. I'll rename it. New Cuba. There you are.
Research complete.
Food processing technologies. Gas refineries is very important. We'll grab that. As you get into more of the middle part of the game, it becomes so important to have all those rare materials because a lot of your upgrades require them.
Construction complete.
been paused for a while, so we actually haven't moved too much here. This feels like we should have. Orlando. Truly an inspiring place. Nationalist sentiment among former members of the Yesnon galactic hegemony has led to the formation of a new faction, the Yesnon Galactic Hegemony National Bloc. A nationalist faction, they primarily desire the restoration of their homeland. There it is. Wow. We have two very hostile factions now. We've got the Imperial Unity Union, which wants to stay in the UNE and make it autocratic. And then we've got the Yesnoni Galactic Hegemony Bloc, which wants to get independence. That is 8 out of 22 of their pops. 6 of their pops are in the Warrior Lodge, which is the militarist one. 7 are in the Alliance of Sacred Traditions, which is the spiritualist faction and the right-wing one. None are in the Enfranchisement Society. 1 is in the Suffrage Watch. So basically, the incorporation of Zemja has resulted in a massive right-wing swell in the elections and voters, essentially, right? That's millions, maybe even over 1 billion of them that have joined and are now voters, and they're all right-wing. The political ramifications of this is going to be pretty dramatic. I'm gonna go for a space-time theory. That'll take a while, but those are so useful. We'll go for eminent diplomats. As we take to the stars, our diplomatic wing has become important as never before. By overhauling our training processes and focusing on talent retention, we can give our diplomats the tools to act as true missionaries for building great relationships. I wish there was a diplomatic system for your diplomats and they had stats. It'd be so much more interesting. That'd be so cool. Getting into the bunker was unexpectedly easy as the main gateway was only partially closed. The expedition was greeted by a grim scene, however. Mummified corpses of yet stout alien humanoids littered the ground. It isn't clear what exactly transpired here, but all of them appear to have met a violent end. The first accessible complex near the bunker's entrance has supposedly served as a barracks and an armory for security personnel. These aliens seem to have possessed technology comparable to our own, utilizing power armors and energy-based weaponry. Curiously, however, large portions of the storage area were occupied by a number of obsolete melee weapons, such as hammers and axes. As investigations proceeded further within the complex, Science Officer Antonia Mendez wandered into what she believed to be some kind of training hall, when a team member blithely pulled an unmarked lever. Multiple spikes rapidly emerging from the floor, then retracted as quickly as they appeared. Iconography that appeared when the lever was pulled suggests these spikes were intended to train users in dodging techniques. Gracefully evading any incoming danger, Science Officer Mendez managed to deactivate the training mechanism before anybody got seriously injured. The lever-pulling fool has been relieved of his position in the aftermath of the incident. Robot wars? It sounds like more violent robot wars, which would be pretty cool. You know what would be another great system to add to Stellaris, ladies and gentlemen, that I would also pay $30 for a DLC for? Organized galactic sports, like so for like sports systems for your nation and your empire, and then like when you get like the galactic community having like sports games like all over the galaxy and have like the sports compete for like which is most popular through like cultural kind of stuff, but like with systems for them. How fucking cool would that be? You know, like good sports players would even be leaders. That'd be interesting. It sounds silly, but sports is such a big force culturally and in terms of politics, right? So it'd be such a cool system. It'd work really well as part of a religion DLC. Actually, galactic football, exactly. How cool would that be? Hunting Olympics for the militarists, yup. I think we should make a poll if we should gather Yesnon that are sympathetic to our cause and put them on a colony ship and send them to make a new democratic Yesnon civilization. But they're not democratic, Mina. It's just not a thing for them. Democracy is not a thing for the Yesnon. I'll make a poll for it, but I don't think that would be in parliament. I mean, like, let me think what the equivalent would be. Do you mean make a new world like in our systems, or do you mean like make it independent and new, like kind of thing? What do you mean, Mina? Professional poker, bigger sports in the galaxy? Yeah, all the megacorps would be pushing that, right? It'd be a lot of fun, I think. It'd be pretty cool. How would football work when the goalkeeper has 8 hands? Well, he'd be a really good goalkeeper. You'd want to sign for your teams, right? Anyway, in our systems. All right, give them a new world is the proposal. I'll make a pull for it. So I'll say new world for Yesnoni political exile. So anyone who's not part of the more hardliner authoritarian Yesnoni, or what this would be essentially in the roleplay, right? Which there would be. There's not a lot of them, but they do exist. So, isn't there a space race event? Not that I know of. There might be. I've never seen it. Olympic sports would be an interesting diplomatic option. Yeah, and it could become a really interesting part of like the galactic community, which I think is a great thing, but I wish they'd expand on it. I mean, mods do, but I mean, the dev team themselves. All right, we do have a new building slot on Earth. Let's see what we want to go for here. We got a lot of unique buildings to build in the capital. Embassy complex, obviously that's the big one. Ministry of Defense, we're going to build that on Hades. Ministry of Production. Does that give empire-wide bonuses, or is it just a planet? Ministry of Science. Research Institute. That's not the unique one though, is it? No, Central Research Bureau is. We'll build the embassy complex. That's the most important. Given that we are now so involved in intergalactic politics. Speaking of which, let's go take a look around. Oh, the Marl Shul are now winning the war. Not by much, but by a little. The Twakstar are winning the war against those who remember. Not by much. Let's do your second move. Have you heard of the football wars? You mean like this, the Latin American ones in real life? The Human International Vanguard is winning the war against the Boki, and they were the one who declared, by the way, folks. They're trying to bring the means of production to the workers of the Boki warrior clans, and they are succeeding. And then the Aviar are still at war, but it's not over. It's very close. They did get a new system, but it won't matter from the looks of it. Interesting. What's up, Kodiak? You mean like the VOD? I have the VOD already uploaded for the third Stellaris portion, which I'm going to put out tomorrow morning, and then this one will probably be out then Tuesday morning. So there'll be two VODs for Grand Campaign Stellaris, probably Monday and then Tuesday. Should be. One's already up. The other one will be up probably tomorrow. This Wolf Fiegelmont has an upgrade. You know what we got to go for? He's a politician at heart. Imperial politician. Can remove some of the blockers as well, apparently. Let's look. No, we're not going to give the exiles a new planet. I don't think we'd be in a very, what's the word? In a very generous move with the Yesnoni. You know, I'm sure the more, what's the word? Peaceful humans would look on this as a tragic situation that we primarily, but not entirely perpetrated. But for a lot of UNE citizens and voters, there wouldn't be a lot of love for the Yesnoni. We're going to be dealing with a lot of internal issues too. Like any Yesnoni that probably tried to go, you know, work in space or on other planets will be in a tough position. So we're going to have some lovely ethnic issues internally in the UNE. We'll see how we deal with those. We need more governors, but we're already over the limit. We'll build on Cerberus a leisure district. We're going to make those rehabilitative facilities for the prison is what those will be. Not just simple stacks of prisons, which we will have, of course, too. All right, crime issues on Nyland. Let's go ahead and we already are doing an anti-crime. Gonna build another city district, and we're gonna build an enforcer police station for the planet, essentially. New Alexandria, I'm going to build robotic production facilities, which is the policy for the ruling administration on any new colonies. Provide a cheap worker force there for the people. On Zemja, we're going to upgrade the precinct houses into a hall of judgment. All those jobs will be locals, though. Let's see if we can hire a Yesnoni governor now. It's a bit easier. It's still so laggy, though. Nope. Nope. Well, they're not external, are they? They'd be recruitable leaders. Still isn't refreshed. Gotta wait another year. Relay on the Hades system. We'll keep that ship down there. We can't do anything with it until the relay network is complete. You're still catching up? That's fair. There's a lot. Are you watching the VODs or the regular episodes, Kodiak? I think the pool would definitely have been proposed by greedy politicians that want to send natives to miners in distinct colony for cheap labor. Yeah, that would check out. Then there are a lot of those corporations within the UNE. You should do something to get governing ethics attraction on Zemja. I don't want to. I think it's more interesting roleplay-wise if this just kind of plays out. I will later, Mina. I think next election, with all this going on, Teresa doesn't win re-election. I got a feeling it may be a bit more populist and right-wing. It should be, realistically. I don't know if that means she won't get elected, but I think it'll be a very close election. Yeah, I gotta refresh the pool. Another great idea from Adiyami. Are there any unique decisions? Let me look, though. Declaring martial law, which we can't even do anymore. No, that's about it. Create client state, which we are not going to do. The Lagrange disappeared. That's strange. Oh. Wondrous world? Yeah, it is a very nice one. I mean, Zemja is a beautiful world. Wondrous planet, empathetic life. Those are the two big ones. Lava lakes. Oh, that's cool as hell. Exotic gas bonus. Whoa. It produces 6 exotic gases naturally, and all exotic gas production on Zemja is increased by 50%. That is insane. Wow. Yeah, that is space oil, Mina. That is literally space oil we found there. It kind of does explain our interventions with this species a little bit more, doesn't it? We would have known about that for a while. We found huge stockpiles of space oil, so we've been a little more involved than we should be. This is literally our Iraq, ladies and gentlemen. This is our Iraq. Oh, man. Yeah, favorite gain with the dwarfs. Nice. They're still pretty friendly, I think. Let's look. Yeah. Every dwarf thinks highly of the United Nations of Earth. You fight for yourselves, as should be, but you also have proven honorable friends to us. Good. They were hostile to start with, but the diplomacy of Teresa Torres has resulted in good relations. Let's build an embassy on their homeworld. They're a little autocratic and socialist for our tastes, but we'll maintain good relations and hopefully trade with them. Like the US and Soviet Union kind of thing. Nobody else will allow us to put embassies in their countries. That's a shame. There also is one other wormhole we have not gone through in the south, but blocking it is a fleet, which we will want to deal with here. But given the speed of our fleets, we got to wait a bit longer till we get the relay network built. To be fair, we did just pop out a wormhole inside their borders. I'd be kind of sussed out too. Yeah, no, I get that. It was understandable, which is again is why it's great that we have such a xenophilic, very friendly president, Teresa Torres, of a good diplomatic corps that allowed us to not make that situation get out of control, which it could have. That could have been a very hostile country if we didn't play that right, I think.
Research complete.
What did we get? Exotic gas refineries. That'll be great on Baghdad. I mean Zemja. Close enough. We'll do Xeno relations. That checks out the most here. Overall, though, we're still in a very good place from the looks of things. A lot of our planets are habitable now too, but we've already kind of, I wouldn't say overextended, but we got to be a bit careful. We want, you know, good consolidated populations on planets, and obviously whenever we do send a colony ship, they're being taken from the workforce of these planets. Space railways are going good. Is there a way to like see them? Like see what systems have hyper relays? Strange probe. United Nations of Earth reports that their sensors detect a strange energy signature moments before they collided with a small entity. Closer inspection reveals that this was a probe humans made and was transmitting popular human songs. Nice. It's like the Voyager. The atmosphere of Siggy 1A is heavily polluted with various greenhouse gases. Large abandoned facilities on the surface of this world appear to have been the cause of this pollution. Whatever civilization left these structures behind has been really irresponsible of taking care of this world. Shameful. Who would do that? What kind of intelligent species would do that? Disgusting. There should be lines between systems with them. I guess not. Does Soul have one? I thought it did. It does, yeah. You need to build two. If you only have one, it won't work, and they need to be adjacent. They are adjacent systems, though. We've got one on Alpha Centauri and then one on Sol, so we should have that. Let's see if it automatically will use it. Yeah, it's gonna use the relay, so it is working. There we go. Procyon just doesn't have one yet, so yeah, we're moving. We've got two. We've got one built on Sol, one on Alpha Centauri. We've got some further out built, I think, as well at this point, but we gotta wait till they're all connected. The thinner hyperlanes might remove them. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a shame, but I'm gonna know in my head where it is because I'm gonna do it pretty simply. It's just gonna be a giant highway going all the way north, and then I'll bring it down to Ad Humla, and then when we get another defensive base built on Anher, I'll bring it south as well. Oh God. The populace begs for war. Nationalist feeling among the humans has spiked, with human-wide demonstrations calling for the national honor to be restored. What does that even mean? Citizens are perturbed that the UNE has seen a long period of peace and and worry that our enemies might begin to see us as having turned soft. The target of their ire is the Republic of QW0001, which is up here, whose leaders have recently been openly derisive about humans, claiming that we are cowardly and have no honor. We can just declare war if we want, folks. This is what happens when you let authoritarian militarists into a democratic body. Wow. Fuck 'em. This is not the right time for this sort of issue. We'll reconsider it later. We're gonna throw some buzzwords out there from the current government. You gotta remember, the militarists and authoritarians are a good chunk of the electorate now. And I think a lot of them are humans too. Let's look. That was a big shift. There's always been a lot of militarist humans. Yeah, there's 12 humans. Oh no, there's a lot of humans in the Crimson Warrior Lodge now. Oh god. One of the pops on New Vegas is a part of the Imperial Unity Union now. The Alliance of Sacred Traditions has a lot of humans too. Yeah, it's been a big shift, right? Just across the board. Consequences, ladies and gentlemen. Fossils discovered on Sanctuary. Fossilized remains from several different species that have no longer appear to have been indigenous to Sanctuary have been found in a large secluded valley on the planet. They all date from roughly the same time period within the span of a few centuries, some 3.6 million years ago. Each of these species seems to be evolved in its own unique biosphere, and all appear to have been sapient. Strangely, every fossilized individual found so far shows signs of having met a violent end. Sounds like a hunting predator ground or something. Oh, it's a site. Oh yes. The fallout from that situation is going to be felt for quite some time in the UNE. Alright, I'll go to the bathroom again really quickly, so I will be back in just a moment. While I'm gone, we can all collectively reflect on the Yesnoni/Iraq situation. Be right back. Alrighty. So some of our minerals. We need to get another trade deal going with one of our neighbors. We just have too much minerals. Let's try a trade deal with the dwarves. If we can get some inner wormhole trade going here. Do they need minerals? That is the question. They do. What do we really need? Energy credits more than anything else, I would say. Nope. They do too. Alloys? Nope. Consumer goods? Nope. Wow, they are poor shit, aren't they? Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, they just don't want minerals, I guess, is what this is, rather. We're going to sell some of our food surplus to balance out our surplus here. Energy credits. This is a really good deal if we can pull this off here. Oh, yes. Very good deal. We're going to give them some of our surplus food, and we're going to get a bunch of energy credits. They don't need minerals, though, and I would like to export some of those. Let the Gavazul. We'll go your economy. Not a great deal per se. We need food more as well. Well, everyone needs food. Jesus. Alright. Those trade deals right there will do a lot for our economy. They are communists, so who's surprised that the communists are poor? There are two communists over there. I bet they hate each other, though. That's how that always goes. No. Surprisingly, no. They don't hate the other communists in the area. That's some fail roleplay. My immersion is ruined. We're not angrily debating ideology. All right, Seagate looks like a very good system to colonize, actually. We have fully checked it out. Yonki Feeding Grounds, though. That's so cool. So that's one of their migration routes there. We're more chill with them than we are with the crystalline entities. Those things we shoot on sight. Now okay, so you can see hyper relays, I guess. Why can we see that one and not the others? No idea. Very odd. Expect a 5th International in the future. The problem never goes away. Zemja still has low stability. Put them on enforcer jobs, and then entertainment is actually fine already, so we're looking good on that. Can we buy new leaders yet? In a year. It has. Beautiful. What up? We gotta see if we can get a governor that is Yesnoni. We do not want to be ruling over with a human official. All right, we got 2 options. We've got Undum. Oh, he's a scientist, isn't he? 1 official, I think. Yep. Ozzy Rax, who is resilient, and he's spiritualist. He's a gas extractor. That is what we want, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? We love the oil. Love the oil. Love the oil. Yeah, that'll work. He's the kind of guy, I like the cut of his jib. He's the kind of guy we'd love to see running things there. A local who understands the important issues. Did I just get rid of a goddamn event that was important? I did. I right-clicked it. Fuck me. Oh no. Oh no. That was a paragon, wasn't it? That I just ignored. Fuck, can I get that back or did I just fuck up monumentally? Gonna be one of those nights. Okay. I'm just so used to those little pop-ups that don't matter and you just right-click them. I think that was a paragon I just got rid of. What was the last autosave? Let's look. I am actually tempted here. 4 months ago. No, we're not going back. I fucked up. We're gonna live with it. All right. Zemja. We're gonna put Rocks in charge. Aussie Rocks. So we have a local actually running things with, again, the right priorities. He's making the decision, not us. All right. This is a local Yesnoni who is suggesting that it's time to look away from old values and repurpose some of the old religious sites to gas refineries. We're not making that call. It's a local Yesnoni governor, and we just have to support his decision making, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we gotta do. If the people want it, the people want it. Only have a deficit of consumer goods then. We have a very healthy energy surplus after our recent trade deals. Small portal has opened up in the sky above Cerberus. Though we cannot see through it, it does provide some interesting data, much like the destroyed probe, allowing for useful study. Oh, this is the interdimensional portal, I think, isn't it? I expect the local artifacts from those temples to be on the black market within the week. There's a interplanar corporation known as Hobby Lobby, which is going to be selling off those Yesnoni artifacts at a premium back on Earth until a government investigation finds out what's going on. Let's see if we can also upgrade Teresa Torres. It's been a while. I redeemed to rename Aussie Rocks to Aussie Rocks. Okay. Well, remind me right after I do her really quickly. Do inspiration levels up. And then charisma. Let's up that. It's pretty low. Move our points. We're going to get Unity when we upgrade buildings and districts. Districts give Unity. We really have Unity issues, so I'm going to go for some of those right now. Not the best meta-wise, but we really need to get some more traditions here. And then we are renaming our leader, or the governor of Zemja, aren't we? Aussie Rocks. Aussie Rocks. All right. The gas extractor business leader who has been made governor of Zemja. This is some cursed shit, man. Alright. On Nyland, we have our basic buildings. We gotta figure out what we would kind of want to specialize this planet to. Mediterranean world, sunken cities. Great for a research planet, actually. Yeah. We're really only doing research on Earth right now, so I'll build a research lab there. Move some of the human forests and swamps on Sanctuary. Vegas will do the same. Looking good. Rampaging Crusher Droid. A roving Crusher Droid set up an ambush to the unwary explorers, which was encountered by our archaeologist on Ralgikal 1. Ralgikal? With skill and a fair bit of luck, Antonia Mendez managed to halt the rampaging robot before anyone was injured. Man, she is so competent, isn't she? My gosh. What a legend. The Aviator Collected has declared the Union of Dorvan Socialist Republics to be their rival. Apparently they're still alive. Yeah, the war's almost over. Did they manage to get a new world? They did not. Poor Aviator. I think there should be a big rush to capture Sirius as a continental world, and it should be high priority for the civilization. Which planet? Sirius. Precursor shield array. Oh, that planet. Yeah. Precursor bunker grid, which we found some horrifying things in, if you recall. Yes. What's a system? True, but we have to defeat the mining core there, which we can actually do. Our navy is strong enough for that. I was going to do that last session, and I never did I? All right, let's send the main fleet then to clear that up. We'll need to immediately take it though, and remember, we're not taking new systems. This is so high priority, to be fair though. Now we can't. We passed a thing in the UNE Congress that says we won't take new systems until we complete the highway, so we can't. Gotta wait. What's up, Lollipop? How are you doing? Where's the other fleet? There it is. Speed this up if we can, honestly. Oh, solar storm. All fleet survived. Our fleet, the NMS Hawking, fell into a stellar wind turbulence zone in the system of Siga. It's the one that we jumped to the wormhole in the northeast. Following the set course, the entire fleet suddenly fell into the zone of ejection of stellar matter of an unstable body. The shields of the system underwent a severe test and are practically exhausted. The fleet, led by an experienced Admiral Winfried Knight, consisted of only a large ship. Thanks to this, powerful power plants allowed ship crews to redirect energy of reactors in time. That's a close one. Don't want to lose her. She's one of our original scientists. Around forever. All right, we'll send her south. Yeah, we did a little bit of Operation Iraqi Freedom. Operation Yesnoni Freedom is what it should be known as. Specialized drones from the largest hive of TA-106, that's right next to Sol, have managed to split the atom for the first time. With the discovery of nuclear fission, nuclear weapons are inevitable being produced, and nuclear power plants are coming alive. Competing hives have been quick to replicate this feat. This is a critical time as several autonomous collectives now possess the means to destroy their world. But press the button. That would be the Hathesians. Atomic age. Let's hope they survive. They know about us. We've contacted them. We've met the PE aliens. Probably up here. Yep. Oh boy, there's a species up here. That's the border. Oh boy, there's some strong aliens up here. Send an envoy. I really want to take that system, but we can't legally.
Tile blocker cleared.
Getting there. William Mendez has a level up for perfectionist. We can say Ozzy Rocks is a Yesnon that was converted to Christianity. Oh God, since he's a spiritualist. Maybe we pacify them through the word of Jesus. Would it be Christianity or would it be of a religion? Because there's a lot of different ones. Heian Adiyami, that's our lead scientist, has passed away at age 90 while in service to the Empire. We'll do a state funeral for her too. All the great leaders deserve them. She was a great, great leader. She served as head researcher for 60 years almost now. It's been forever. Wow. She's given us so much scientists. She's served through like 5 different UNE presidents at this point. Here I need a replacement. Damn. Oh, what do we want to replace her? Not a lot of great options. She was just so far ahead of everyone else. Probably talk Laszlo. He doesn't have good leadership traits though, does he? It'd probably be Mendez then. She a spark of genius. Or Winfried Knight. We'll do Antonio Mendez. She's got spark of genius, very capable leader, and egalitarian, which obviously fits with the government of Teresa Torres. So we'll go for her. Meaning we need a replacement. Yes, we should. I know she was serving on one of the ships. She can do both, can't she? I always forget that with the leader system. Because it seems like if you're serving as like a governmental minister, you probably don't have the time to be out, doing research or running planets, but I guess they do. The Nationalists are disappointed that you have failed to keep your promises of declaring war on the Republic of QW000. They feel that the UNE has been humiliated, and they, as UNE citizens, can no longer hold their heads high among their peers. That's brutal. I'm sorry to hear that. Our whole government looks weak, and we have lost monthly influence and citizen happiness. And the Warrior Lodge is very angry. Weak, cowardly, and lying government. Puff. Puff titty. Do we have any campaigns we can do as well? Yeah, we have enough for 2. FCL speed bonus. I'm going to take Interstellar Voyage. That's really needed right now. And then we'll go for physics research grants as well. A little bit of science, a little bit of ship speed, and we'll focus on construction and the economy. We have enough to start a recycling campaign as well. I think one of these gives sublight speed, doesn't it? Yep. Exotic gases is fuel. No more sublight speed bonuses, so we'll just keep those for now. Little big campaigns going. It's the Hessians. The Yesnoni and the Hessians probably get along pretty well. Extra-dimensional asteroid. A small asteroid appears in the orbit of Luna Base. It was unknown and undetected until moments ago when we discovered it, along with a familiar energy signal. While it is too small to be in any danger, it may provide a large quantity of minerals. We need them, but very nice. I'm more worried that there's asteroids coming out of other dimensions. Reports from our colony on Sanctuary claims that there's been an increase in feral behavior. Apparently parts of the population have expressed hitherto unprecedented levels of lust and aggression, and no one knows why. That's worrying. A lot of weird things still going on in the colonies. Still hasn't made it. My God. Those hyper relays are so needed, though. Again, I do have a mod on to just across the board cuts down sublight speed. What a lot of this is you're seeing. We need to build up the fleet more. So much stuff we have to do. Stellaris is the worst. All the Paradox games are like that, where there's so much you have to be doing at once. Stellaris is the worst, though, by mid-game. The feral behavior on Sanctuary shows no sign of stopping anytime soon. In fact, it has risen since the last report. Promiscuous and violent acts happen all the time, and a large part of the population seems to be affected. Huge amounts of crime. At least we have a military governor on the planet right now.
Construction complete.
There's not a lot of people there. Oh, that's the Twackstar colony we built for the political exiles. Lithivore, symbiotic, toxic, photosensitive, sedentary. They're a little bit problematic there, but it's their own planet, so not our issue. Explosion and thirst. The young colony on the planet of Sanctuary has become an attractive destination for explorers, hunters, vagrants, and anyone who dream of finding treasures. The spirit of pioneering grows in the settlements. The colonists tell each other incredible stories of adventure. Same planet. Pioneer jobs. Oh. That's kind of cool. Not valuable at all, but still pretty cool. I should end up playing tall when I play Stellaris, for better or worse. Yeah. I don't know, both tall and wide kind of are both enjoyable, but depends. I probably prefer more to play wide, if I'm being honest, because you can do more, but depends. The situation on Sanctuary has spiraled out of control. A staggering number of inhabitants are now infected with what is causing this. So it's not just, this is like a physiological or psychological thing.
Situation log updated.
Anti-crime campaign. Let's root out the problem. It's very quick, at least. Latent psionic powers have begun to manifest in individuals of those who remember the dark. That's our northern neighbors. The public has been informed of a potential first contact scenario with the JN-372 system, which is the one up in the second wormhole. Still don't know who it is yet. Stability is returning to Zemja. All they needed was more gas refineries. Easy. Upgrade the administration on Terra Nova. It's going to be a full functioning planet at that point. They will have their own capital complex. No longer a simple colony. I wonder if we would have like differences in like rights or funding or things like that for colonies versus like integrated planets.
Tile blocker cleared. Special project complete.
The investigation of the strange and wild behavior currently besetting Sanctuary has been completed. In the vast network of cave tunnels that permeates the planet's crust, an enigmatic fungus has been found. It grows all over the caves, floors, walls, ceiling, and stretches out for thousands of miles. The fungus frequently releases spores that are vented out of the caves. For what purpose has not been established, but we know for certain that it causes primitive behavior in our species, releasing primal urges within. We can try to find a useful application of this phenomena, or we can exterminate it. Given our political issues right now, we're going to exterminate it. We
Situation
can't let this get out of hand or move off planet, so we'll just get rid of it. Relay is going. I'm really curious to see who we meet there. We might actually already be in their borders. I don't think so because we didn't see a station, but I think it does show you if it is. Get a little low on influence here. We've lost so much influence game because of the goddamn militarists. I'd say to jump, say our jump to the space station has been a lot more internally chaotic than I expected. As in like the UNE's early days, or what do you mean, Eric? Definitely, yeah, I thought we'd be a lot more cohesive, but events have not gone that way. The project to incinerate all cave mushrooms has been completed, and the primal urge-inducing fungus has been exterminated. As luck would have it, several of the burnt-out caves turned out to have rich mineral veins, which can now be exploited. Wonderful. Cave cleaner jobs. We have some interesting jobs on this planet. We've got pioneers, and I guess we now have cave cleaners too. Maybe not. Yeah, not very good though. Build a city district on the planet. On New Vegas, we can do a new building. What are we gonna go for on that? It is a Gaia world, but it's been more of like a mining planet more than anything else. Simultaneously, every sensor in our empire detected an extremely large energy anomaly located just above our capital. What the fuck is going on in the Sol system? Our sensors are giving the same readings as those found in the destroyed probe. Just as quickly as it appeared, it dissipated with no visible effect. After months of complete cluelessness as to where these strange items have been coming from and why they share the same energy signature, our long-range scanners pick up this strange anomaly that has appeared near Earth and has launched out shards of ice at a rapid rate.
Situation log updated.
The fuck is this? Oh, we don't have any science ships on there, so we'll have to build one. Oh god. Mildly terrifying. The crystalline entities may have returned. If so, they're interdimensional, which is just great. Oh boy. Look where the wormhole goes. Unless we're being lied to, things are about to get interesting. Let's upgrade the Star Fortress there. Be wise. Oh, the dwarfs are huge, aren't they? I didn't realize how strong they were. They really like us. I'm going to celebrate diversity across our worlds just to get a little bit more xenophile attraction, given how quickly we're going right here. Maybe wise. The Warrior Lodge, ironically, actually likes our government. Aggressive diplomacy. Neighboring rivalries. Careful with our influence. I want to prioritize the hyper relays in the south. Well met. I represent the Empire of the Dying Sun, led by the illustrious Empress Eiko I. We rule our region of space under a divine mandate, and so long as you do not interfere in our spiritual affairs, our relations will remain cordial. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the Japanese humans who left really early on after discovering FTL technologies, which they did share with us, and then a bunch of them left mysteriously. After forging through a wormhole on the northern part of our systems, we have encountered their civilization in the northern region of the galaxy. We're gonna not be very friendly with them. They didn't leave on great terms, all things considered. Evangelizing zealots, elitist, fanatic, authoritarian, militarist, spiritual. They're technically a different species too, because they had some changes in the jump they had to their systems. We need to take this system from them. We would not want them getting past and taking all this. But we can't. All right, I'm gonna do a poll. So this is a bill put into Congress by the ruling government, which would basically allow the terms of the hyperhighway initiative to be overruled until such time as we build a station on the Sigi system next to the Empire of the Dying Sun for security purposes. It would allow us to spend resources on that and then continue the project after. If not, we won't take that system and they'll take it. They may possibly be cut out by these mining drones, but that won't last for long. And they look pretty big too, from the looks of things here. Leaving the entrance section behind, Science Officer Antonia Mendez and her team have entered what they believe to be a commercial district. From the reliefs on the walls, the floors, and the everyday objects, a substantial portion of the former inhabitants' history has been reconstructed by the expedition team. This facility was established in these harsh conditions on the belief that deep underneath the facility, there existed veins of rare and to them incredibly valuable mineral ore. By pumping magma to the surface, they were able to access a nearly inexhaustible energy source, build a defense system relying on multiple lava-based traps, and discover a means of disposing of undesirables, as showed extensively and repeatedly in the release. These guys were fucked up. A finding of particular value, however, was a library that provided our linguists with enough samples to translate the aliens' language. Not only will this make interactions with their technology easier, it will also give us a glimpse into their humor. The archive images of the stone plates found at various trap locations read as follows. Watch your step. Don't touch this. Put the lava and the lever trap respectively. Another example is a tombstone on one of the burial grounds showing a warrior being impaled by multiple spikes at once in its relief. Well, the caption, "Why didn't you dodge?" So they're just fucking assholes, right? That's what this is. Unsurprising to say that this brought back some not so distant memories. Science Officer Antonia Mendez expects to find more information on what happened here by searching the central location. Yeah, fucking assholes. Haha, you got impaled. How's the poll looking? We're going to. Okay. In that case, I'm going to send our construction ship towards the second wormhole. Our influence has gone up again a little bit, but still not the best. The highway is probably like 1/8 done right now. We've gotten a good amount of them built, but we need a lot more.
Construction complete.
We need to upgrade our military too, but we do not have... Oh, we kind of have the alloys for it. We need the rest for the hyper relays. We could upgrade our fleet a little bit and still have plenty. I'm gonna do a bit of upgrading. All right, so the emergency measure proposed by the ruling government has been passed, and it will cease the terms of the hyperhighway initiative in order to secure that system, which is strategically so important for us in Siggy. Once we've done so, we'll return to building it. Let's look for another trade deal here. The Architrix are no longer still winning their war. Let's sign a commercial pact with them, though. We could do that. Very cheap for us. See if we can get any energy credits off of them. We'll give them alloys, straight up. Will help their war effort. No, okay. That may not be an option for us then. Or do they just like not need alloys? Need anything here? Unfortunate. Do that. That'll help a lot of our energy deficit, which is about to go up a good bit too, given we are about to upgrade the fleet. What's up, Vambi? How are you doing? We still haven't had the galactic community pop. I mean, there's just so many species. There's going to be a ton up here, I'm sure, as well. Are they friendly? Can we get maps from them? I'm suspicious. Let's send an ambassador immediately. We had very complicated last meetings with them a while back, but we'll at least try and get on good terms. They're so against what like humanity and its current government stands for. And given that they did take a lot of their most cutting edge FTL technologies and did not give them to us before they left, things would be strained, but as with all of Teresa Torres's alien contacts, which they would be considered at this point, although they are a form of humans, we'll try and get on better terms. Not gonna happen. We just don't know anything about that region of the galaxy. They're neutral though, but I'm gonna still go with the roleplay that we'd be very hostile to them, given that they basically commandeered a UNE vessel to form that colony and build their current state, as well as being so ideologically different from us. We've been working with some like socialist, communist powers of varying degrees, but they're our version of it, and our history with them is not very good.
Establishing colony.
It'll take over a year to get there. Wow.
System probe complete.
So we've got some time.
Tile blocker clear.
Upgrade to Wings of Orange. The Boki or Twackstar scientist that we hired. Of intuition. There is a colonizable world on that system too. Siggy 2, which is a colonizable ocean world. Dune Seas. Ikokaki can also get an upgrade. Another of the Xeno scientists. Celebrity. That makes sense. He was, Bikokaki was the first non-human scientist to command a science vessel for the UNE. So I think that makes a lot of sense. We're gonna make him a celebrity. It doesn't do anything for him as a scientist, but that's fine. Kind of interesting. Good free night again. I'm gonna go explore. And then I have the new science ship I built, right? Yes, the Explorer. We'll hire a new scientist. And then we're gonna get them to figure out what's going on with the anomaly over Earth. We'll go Plume of Maroon. We have a lot of non-human scientists now at this point. All right, can we do this? Oh, it's automatic? No one saw that. Just ignore that. We do need more though, so we'll send him to do the excavation on QW 711.
Special project complete.
As our ships get closer for research, you can see this small tear floating in space. Examination tells you that it has now stabilized enough in orbit that you could send a small probe through. So this is an extra-dimensional anomaly over Earth, and we have given it, by having it give off a pulse of specific energy blast, you could close it permanently. You could also have it transmit audio. Chance someone finds it. Whole time. This will not be a Parliament issue. This will be a Uni Council decision. We can either close it or we're gonna send like a friendly message through to the other side. This is extra dimensional, folks. This would be very dangerous. It is over our capital planet. Anything that comes through will be right on Earth. We have no idea what's behind it. It could be good and friendly and useful, or it could be terrifying. So, what are we gonna do? Fuck, it is getting cold. And the consequences of this could be pretty bad. We'll see. We have military forces. Overwhelmingly friendly greetings. Okay. Another poll I'm just not going to wait on because it is so overwhelming. Also a lovely story about humanity. Our probe travels through the tear and sends out its pulse, just as planned. Moments later, all communication is lost as the tear seals itself. We don't have to worry about it anymore. I guess they weren't a fan. We sent through an audio recording of the Epic of Gilgamesh, and they did not like our art and promptly put the phone down and closed the astral rift. So it's gone. That's good, I guess. Kind of insulting though, if we're gonna be honest. They literally hung up on us. We got left on red. Unfortunate. Everyone's a critic. True. They just don't have good taste in human culture. I'm embarrassed for them, honestly. We've been hearing rumors about the impressive United Nations of Earth for a while now, and we're pleased to make your acquaintance. For a nominal contribution of credits, we, the League of Scrappers, offer premium salvage services, from engine upgrades to scrapping fleets. Whatever your needs, you can count on us. And to ensure that we start off in your good graces, how about a small gift to show our commitment to customer service? 1,800 alloys? Wow. That's some customer service right there. Yeah, we're good to trade with these guys for sure. Woo. I think they're flexing on us, but we'll take that. Oh no, did I not accept it? Okay. Second time I fucked up a menu today. We have battleships, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go for... Let's grab heat resistance materials. This looks like it's useful for other things, so I'm gonna pick it up just in case. It only takes 5 months. All right, where are they? Let's go see what the scrappers want to do. Context, what am I doing? My brain is not working the best at this point. Mercenary. Delta Company? Oh man. The Stormwall Defense Corporation has a mercenary enclave. All right, League of Scrappers. $960 energy for a battleship? And corvettes from the Architrix? Oh, from, yeah, the wars that are ongoing. Whoa. The Empire of the Dying Sun has battleships. Of course they do. Well, let's get a reclaimed battleship. Have a look into what exactly Empire of the Dying Sun has technology-wise. Fuck yeah. And then, yeah, good with that. Wow, very useful. Holy fuck, that's a strong battleship. There's the rebuild battleship we bought off of them. This was destroyed in battle, I guess. The Fire of the Dying Sun. Let's see, what's it built of? Railguns, laser guns. It's pretty outdated though. Our technology is more advanced, but we don't know how old this was and when it was built. So it looks like their technology is a bit behind ours, but they got battleships earlier. Yamato class. I'm gonna need to refit it. Very strong ship though. Sell food, we are at our max now. Yes, so many allies too. System we need, almost there. 152 days. Oh, it's a black hole, I see. Okay. And scale looks cool sometimes. We don't have climate restoration yet. We have basic terraforming, but we don't have climate restoration. I don't think. The realm of Marl Shoal and the state of Gavazul have rivaled. They're our allies, so that makes sense. All right, it is time. It is election season. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have obviously Teresa Torres running for re-election. She'd still be very popular with her party and like the liberal left-wing centrist parties, for sure. Go on Twitch, I believe. Who else would be running? Let's take a look. UNE elections. 7-4. Torres running for re-election. We would definitely have, who else would be running? Chris Wolf-Ficomont, he'd be leading the more like center-right coalition. He's not like far right, but he'd be on there. We'll have Aussie Rocks run. Why not? They're very nationalistic, so we'll throw him on there. Let's keep it on 3 candidates just to look. No, there'd be more, wouldn't there? I'll throw in another 1 or 2. Who else would run? A militarist for sure. Evelyn Celine de Bonaparte, who is the leader of our main fleet and ran last time. She'd run this time too, just on a very militarist policy. We'll do 4 candidates. All right, polls are up. You are all citizens of the UNE today. It is time. 179 days left. Take it pretty slow here.
Research complete.
I also am going to stream it in the stream today after this election. I feel myself getting tired and burnt out, and the stream will stop being entertaining very shortly. So I'm going to stop before that happens. I know I said I'd do 4 hours, but I don't want these streams to get uninteresting and stop enjoying them myself. So we will stop here. Thorium power plants. Those are really useful. These used to be so overpowered, but I don't think they are anymore. No, they changed so much. They used to just give flat, huge amounts of energy, and they don't do that anymore. Do carrier operations. We've got battleships now, so I want to build an actual proper carrier fleet. Plasma thrusters, you said? Over even carriers? Okay. Thrusters are really good too, aren't they? That gives the sublight speed bonus, which is so important in battles for any ship type. I remember that. Watch the guides. I lost. Sojourner's still good though. Is that the scrappers? It is. Nice. Brits Evelyn Coalition. I'll flip a coin, by the way, folks. Here's how we'll do this. When the election results are in, I'm going to flip a coin if it would add up to be more. If I get the right heads or tails, the right one, they're going to form a coalition, and then we can do that. But it is like straight voting, isn't it? We don't do multiple round voting. And like once you like vote for someone. I'll do it differently. I'll roll a 1d5, and if it's 1 out of 5, we'll say that before the election even happened, one of them stepped down and didn't run and threw their support by the other one. So it's a little less unlikely, but it makes sense because you can't just like, you know, change people's votes. So we'll do it like that. Wild card, bitches. Which, oh my God, Evelyn Celine de Bonaparte is winning. Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, Teresa Torres is currently polling with 7 votes. Fritz Wolf-Ficomont with 2. Aussie Rocks with 1. Evelyn Celine de Bonaparte with fucking 9. Woo! Election's almost over. Oh my God, we're gonna have a Bonaparte presidency. This is about to get wild. Y'all fucked up. All right, we're going this route then. Oh, wow. Holy Christ. I love democracy. Oh, God. Just remember, regardless of what happens next week, this was voted on. This is the route we've chosen, so this is the route I'm going to take us on. Oh my God, we need so much unity just to get her to even win. Look at this. Teresa Torres was so fucking popular. in a historic election. After the second Teresa Torres presidency, the vote occurring in the year 2273, after the incorporation of the Yesnon people and Zemja, as well as the violence seen throughout the galaxy and the fear that has resulted in the rise of militarism and authoritarianism of varying degrees, Evelyn Celine de Bonaparte will win the election, resulting in the first militarist leader calling for the expansion of the fleets, of aggressive border policies, and with no more reconciliation with aliens will come to power. And the first militarist leader since, what was his name? Yusuf Bilal and his corruption scandal decades ago. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have a militarist presidency for the UNE. We will see if democracy survives or not. And on that note, I am gonna end the stream for today before I become a zombie and barely speak anymore. We'll do a full regular stream next week. I will not have the thing I had on Saturday next week, so all good for that. We'll have a nice, good stream. Hope everyone has a good week. See if there's anyone to raid real quick. Also appreciate everyone who caught this stream, even though it was very much not at the right time. If there's any good Stellaris streamers going. Stellaris is usually a graveyard at this time. Yep. Okay, there are a couple. That's a chill stream. We'll give this guy a raid. I have no idea if he'll be solid or not, but we're gonna give him a shot. Haven't done any of those raids in a while. Harbuster. Hopefully chill. I will be back Saturday, regular time, 2 p.m. EST. We'll go for a longer stream, keep getting through this. There will be a grand campaign edited episode out probably tomorrow or Tuesday on YouTube. I haven't done them in a while, so I'm not going to wait till next weekend. It's almost done. And then if you want to see the VODs for this, the third episode will be out tomorrow, and then the next one, which is this one, will be out on Tuesday. And as always, you can watch them on Twitch. So hope everyone enjoyed the stream. Hope everyone has a good weekend and a good week, and I will catch you all later. Stay warm if you're in America too.